Yo, 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 back with another episode of Scrap Talks, episode 2. Today we're going to be rebuilding the UFC White House card that takes place this weekend.
Check it out. For the opening match, we kept the Steve Garcia versus Diego Lopez. We didn't really have too many problems with that one.
Yeah, I like this matchup. We did the other video where we predicted we both have Steve Garcia to win, but they're both very entertaining fighters, so I don't have any problems with this matchup. And I like how Diego is finally taking a little bit of a step down in competition, coming off that title shot against Volk. So yeah, I guess like you said, we don't have any problems with this one, so we'll just move on to the next one. The next one was the Bo Nickel and Kyle Dawkins fight. We actually decided to remove this fight completely because we didn't want to see that at all. We think that shouldn't even be on the White House at all. So we got Brandon Royval versus Charles Johnson. We replaced this fight with the Bo Nickel fight because one, they're both very entertaining fighters. I think I know Royval's got that matchup against Kavanaugh coming up, but I actually like the stylistic matchup of him versus Johnson. I think Johnson could give him some major issues, especially boxing. They're both very entertaining strikers for the most part. Yeah, I just think it's a better overall fight than Bo Nickel and Kyle Dawkins. No disrespect to them or anything, but I just think this fight would really entertain the fans, especially with the two styles. They're both kind of long and lengthy fighters for the flyweight division. Both leave it all on the table every time they show up. So I think the
Who
fans
do
are
you,
going for fireworks with this matchup.
who do you think would win this one?
I'm going Johnson. I love Royval.
Yeah.
I like both of them, but I think Johnson could get it done with his accuracy. I think Royval, he has good boxing and stuff too, and they're both. I'm not
Mhm.
sure the exact height of both of them, but I want to say Royval's a little taller. I could be wrong, but I think Charles is more accurate
Yeah.
in his striking. So I think Charles could get him out of there like round three, round
Yeah.
two,
I
round
like
three.
that.
For this next one, we're actually doing Michael Chandler and Terrence McKinney. We're gonna take out that Roofy fight. I think Roofy, he's ranked number 9 right now, and I just don't think, no disrespect to Chandler, I just don't think he deserves someone that high in the rankings, given his last few performances. I think Terrence is a hungry fighter. He's called out Michael Chandler a few times actually. Terrence averages the shortest average fight time in the UFC, so that'd be a banger matchup as well.
Yeah, I like this one. I think Terrence gets it done how he usually does, quick and early.
I agree. I don't think Michael could. I don't know. I think if Michael locks in, he could give him some issues, but I don't see. I think Terrence would finish him in the first round, honestly,
Yeah.
easily, just because how Michael's fight IQ goes. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this is a would have been perfect for the UFC to make in the White House, just because nothing against Roofy, he's entertaining too, but like you said, Terrence has called Michael Chandler out a few times, and they match up. They match up well in terms of like rankings and whatnot.
Yeah. I like this one. On the next fight, we've got Josh Hokett, and instead of going Derek Lewis, we went Sergey Pavlovich because one, you don't really know what version of Derek Lewis you're even getting anymore. Sometimes he just doesn't even really look like he wants to be in the cage. And with it being a short notice, I that makes me have even less faith in it being a good fight there.
So who do you have in this matchup?
I think it's hard to say. Um, I think I mean I don't really know. We haven't really seen too much of Hokett yet. I feel like he's only had a couple fights so far in the UFC. I think honestly, both of them could get it done.
But who do you think does get it done?
I think Pavlovich could use his experience in this fight.
How does he get it done? First round knockout?
I don't know. Josh has a chin. Maybe decision. Yeah, I like decision.
Hot take. I think Hokett would knock him out.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Hokett would knock him out in the third round, just because I think he'll be able to use his wrestling and
Yeah,
fresh Hokett like in the first couple rounds. Like I think he would take this matchup a lot more serious than he's taking the Derek Lewis matchup, which rightfully so.
yeah,
I think Hokett would just wrestle him and try to put that pace on him, put that pressure on him. And Sergey, he's not known to have bad cardio, but he's never been known to have like the best cardio. So I think Hokett could definitely get it done.
yeah.
I
I
think it's
like that.
it's definitely a more difficult stylistic matchup than the Derek Lewis fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they want Derek Lewis on there, but I think it's got a high risk of being a bad fight when you have a current Derek Lewis on there.
Yeah, I agree. All right, for this next fight, we had O'Malley versus Zahabi, and we actually took out Zahabi and made Sandhagen. I think a lot of y'all will agree with us on this. I saw when that Zahabi fight was first made, a lot of people were questioning why it was him and not
Hmm.
Sandhagen. I think Sandhagen's been calling out O'Malley for at least a few years now. I
Yeah.
know O'Malley's talked about a matchup with Sandhagen, but he's never really like addressed it or called him out. But I think it's the perfect time to make this fight. White House, two Americans, perfect stylistic matchup. I think Corey could really give some O'Malley some problems. Not necessarily in the striking. I actually think
Hmm.
O'Malley would outstrike him for the most part. I just think Corey's really good at being well rounded and striking, and then mixing in the grappling, and then back to the feet, and then back to the grappling or clinch control, like anything. He's real good. Like he's very well rounded. So I think he'd give Sean some problems in that. So I would actually pick Corey 29-28. I think it'd be like a real close fight. Like some people would say robbery, but I think Corey would get it done.
I really don't get why they didn't make this fight, especially with putting Corey on the next card right after. It doesn't make sense. They could have definitely got this one done. Um, I like Corey in this one as well.
How do you think he gets it done? Same way?
Yes, decision. On the next fight, we took out Gon and put in Tom Aspinall. Obviously, Tom is hurt right now, but we're just not taking that into account. Just the fights we would make if they were all available to us right now. Um, I don't really like the fact that Gon got another shot right after the whole drama
Broken
and
Tom in the eye.
controversy. Yeah. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
somebody in
I'd
the
like
eye
to
and
see
get
them.
rewarded with a title shot. Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
it's pretty crazy, especially a title shot at the White House too, the biggest card. Who do you think would take this one?
I'm not gonna lie, going into it, like when it was talked about like last year, I always said like Aspinall, no questions asked. Like, even though I know Pereira had a lot of hype and he's very powerful and stuff, obviously, he's got a
Yeah,
lot of skill. He's got that lighter man skill coming up from not just like heavyweight, but middleweight as well. So more than likely he's gonna have the speed advantage and he's gonna move on his feet a lot better. But I still think Aspinall will get it done. I'm just not as confident. Like you would have asked me like a year ago, I would have said, oh, Aspinall 100%. But
yeah,
now I'm more like 55-45, honestly, just because, and I know this wasn't the whole fight, but just because how Aspinall looked in that first round against Gon, like,
yeah,
I'm not going to say he didn't look himself, but you could tell Gon had the clear speed advantage. So I feel like if
right.
Gon has a speed advantage against you, a natural heavyweight, how do you think you'll do against Pereira when he's coming up from 205 and he's definitely going to be faster. So
Yeah,
that's the only reason I think Pereira could get it done, but I definitely think Aspinall will use his grappling. I think Aspinall will probably sub him in like the third or fourth round, but I think he would go through some hell to get to it. Like, I think he
yeah,
definitely get knocked down a couple of times, but I definitely think he could get the submission round three or round four.
yeah. I like that. I think Tom could weather the storm, and I don't know if he could get the submission on him, but I do think he could get it by decision. It's hard to really say how Alex would do in this fight because we haven't seen him at heavyweight yet. Um, but I do think Tom would get it done.
And for the main event, we actually changed Ilya Taporia and Justin Gaethje to Ilya Taporia and Armin Sarukian. This is an interesting one. I feel like we might get a lot of kickback on this one. Not a lot of people will like this one, but we both agree that it would be the fight to make for us. Like, not including like everything else, like that Armin that's going on outside the cage. I think this would be the best fight to make in that division. I've actually been wanting to see this fight for a while. I actually think Armin beats Ilya. Not a not a
I think he could.
huh?
I think he could. It's definitely the most competitive fight to make at 55 right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think more he could do more than I think he will beat Ilya. Like when they fight, I'm picking him to beat Ilya just because I think he's the most well-rounded fighter in that division. I know we don't see him a lot because he does a lot of dumb shit outside of the cage and does shit like that. But once he's in the cage, he's a fucking problem. And
Yeah,
he's. I think he could give Ilya problems everywhere. Like even striking, his striking's underrated. Don't get me wrong; it's not going to be like a cakewalk. Like
yeah,
he'll go through some stuff for sure, but I think he can get it done over Ilya with his wrestling and striking. I actually think he would knock out Ilya on the feet due to the takedown threat because I don't think Ilya. Yeah, you could say he's faced Charles, but Armin went out there and beat Charles and damn near out grappled Charles.
yeah,
So I don't think Ilya's fought somebody with the same type of takedown defense, takedown threat as Armin. Yeah, he fought Charles, but Charles and Armin are two different grapplers, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
preparing for a Charles Oliveira fight is different than preparing for an Armin fight, and I just think Ilya's going to go out there and be shook against Armin. If that fight
yeah.
does happen, I'm honestly not very confident that it does happen, but when it does happen, I'll be tuned in for sure.
I think it will happen. I like it a lot more than the Ilya versus Islam fight. If the Ilya Islam fight was at 155, I would rather that. But with Islam moving up, I wouldn't like. I don't think it would be as competitive having Ilya move up 2 divisions to get that fight. I think Armin has good chances of taking this one as well.
I agree. Well, this is the White House card that we built for y'all. We get to see the real White House card this weekend on June 14th. So we're excited to see that. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos coming out.
Put in the comments down below what fights you would change on this card.